Focus. Focus. It's like they know how to take everything. Everything I have tried got me further into this trap. I am really ashamed. The heartbreaking words of someone in trouble. A hit to the account is felt in the body and the mind. Enough of these hits, and your mentality will be on the ropes. Tired, exposed, guard heavy, a shot gets through. You're down, and the crowd are counting you out. Part of you is still standing there watching. That inner voice. Now who's the ghost? You can end all of this pain and any future pain just now. Don't get up. That could be anybody. The shocking statistic is it's most people. It's 90% of everybody. It's you or it's someone you love. I have 15% left. To turn it around would be amazing. When that was written yesterday, I heard one person in pain, but I knew I was reading silent screams of 1 million people who've been hurt doing this before. It might have been a man, a woman, a young person with a distant future, difficult and compounded, or an older person with an uncertain future, now even more insecure. A parent with those who rely on them, a partner who trusts them to provide. We're going to help. This man, this woman, any person of any background who has that fear, that shame, you're at your lowest. You're on the canvas. Things can move up from here. Our goal is making millionaires. The best millionaires are made. $1 million solves 1 million problems. $1 million is a goal you can achieve. Nobody makes millionaires like me because my millionaires make themselves, and they do it in exactly the same way that will help the millions of people who silently scream, I don't understand. This just won't click. This feels helpless. Too many shots are getting through. Those people who feel like they can't defend themselves. So, if you're trying to build a new world or rebuild one you already know, listen carefully and focus. Focus. To stay focused, you need to stay motivated. To stay motivated, you need dopamine. To get dopamine, you have to hit goals. To hit goals, you have to set them. Set one that you'll hit at least before lunchtime, preferably before breakfast, every single day. Make it the same, make it different, like I give up, make it happen. You'll wake up in a different mood every day. What's the first thing you look at? Your phone? Your computer? The wall? Put a picture of your main goal there. I don't care how old you are. Write across it the first goal that you're going to achieve every single day before lunch or breakfast, and make it easy. Put a calendar next to it and put a pen next to that. Include sunlight if you can. Include fresh air if you can. Skip food if you can until you hit this goal. If it's sitting by an open window, if it's going outside for 60 seconds, it's your goal. Hit it. And then have another, even smaller, that you do immediately after, that you aligned now with your overall goal. So if your overall goal is to be a better trader, then make this next goal reading the last entry you made in your trading journal, if you have one. If you don't, make it to get a notepad. Then count 5 blessings and mark an X on your calendar. Do this every single day. Never break the train. Then immediately get to work on the hardest task that day that will make everything else you do easier. And I'll be online every trading day. Come work with me and my brother and hundreds of other traders making what they can of opportunities every single day. Don't go near social media until after work unless it's a safe space full of people who support you in your goals. Make these promises to yourself. Make them now as you watch this. Comment your goal if you like. The crowd is still counting you out, counting out your future. Every millionaire that ever made themselves heard that crowd. And everybody loves the underdog. Everybody loves a comeback. What's dead can never die. Single, simple, clear, well-defined, non-fuzzy, everyday goal with a reminder of the blessings you have now and your ultimate goal. Focus and drink more water. Welcome back to Millionaire Maker. I am JME. This is Tradespotting. This is snow. It's snowflake. Don't buy this if you have right leanings. This was brought to my attention by dead money, dead money. As you can see, this here, 2 harmonics, a butterfly, a bat. Unfortunately, no the shark, but we have got multiple targets. We've also got potential safe entries should this get a rejection from the top side of the Bollinger Band on the 2-day time frame, come back below the 50 simple period moving average, which is testing at the minute without a violent move to the top side yet. So we could see retracements back down towards 126, 120 possibly. If it goes beyond 104, I probably wouldn't want it. That defines an entry and a risk where I wouldn't take any costs beyond, and we've got our targets at the top side of this move, which could potentially be back up towards 600, right? 570, 560, 550. Along the way, you'll see 182, 210, call that 181, call that 211. This one, right, that's 258, call it 258, 255 even. Up here, 345, you can call it that because that sounds good. And then 409, and then 577, right? That's the targets. It's a 25-to-1 risk-reward ratio. It's a 375% move. That's huge. There's 2 different trades you could take, one that could have evolved it into something better, and you can use that 50 simple if you want to take that trade ahead of when this suggestion says it would be more chocolatey and less biscuity on that chocolate biscuit ratio, right? But you can work with these things as you like because this isn't financial advice. I am JME, the Millionaire Maker. That is Snowflake. That's the 2-day time frame. We love it there. We really do. SPY 406, we got our close back up towards the top side here. The danger would set in if you close back now below 398. The next place to look to would be 392. If you did come back below this on a daily time frame, I'd suggest that would have been subsequent to an close open on a 4-hour time frame below 398. I would anticipate a bounce at this level the first time. 388, a very important level if it even slips below there, but I don't anticipate that happening until such times as we see proper test of the top side. You can see that outlined with this horizontal line where it's also touched once here, and back here as well. This gap obviously closed, price action doing well in the area where you would have not necessarily anticipated there being a lot of liquidity. That's positive. Under bullish conditions, you'd say that that's one for the bulls, and likely does then test 408 if it does manage to get back above the next target, potentially via 411 and 416 would be 418. That's what we'll be looking at if it breaks above there, 420 and then 428. Big moves on SPY possible, but are we anticipating them right now? Well, if we go and check the third expiry, we can see that longs are incentivized to close around 410, so difficult to push it back above 408 at this stage with any consistency or longevity. And we can see then max paying 397 in around those levels we'd like price action to hold, and 320, an absolutely ridiculous target to speak to in terms of open interest for the bears, and that's left them with a ridiculous put to call ratio of 1.97, which you can't see because it's too far to the right and off the screen, but that put to call ratio is very dangerous. We'd say anything over 0.7 is dangerous, anything approaching 1 is very dangerous, anything over 1 is stupidly dangerous, obviously ridiculous. Who let these people trade, right? There's the, so here we have it. Congratulations everybody, and there's your slightly strange color chart. And so if SPY breaks to the top side, what do we think we might see on Bitcoin? Well, these would be if it was testing back down on SPY, or if Bitcoin did it when markets are closed, which is obviously possible. What with Bitcoin trading for 24/7. Pardon me, the BAMs are out at the minute. We call them chavs sometimes. What do you call them where you are? Anyway, she's turned the winds against them. So at this point, if it did come back down, test those lows, parallel within this formation here, might give you another test of 22.5, very, very possible. You know, if it went back beyond 22.3, I'd probably think that that was less bullish, and I'd wait for it to find support or start moving to the top side before I was looking at it for a particular trade. Obviously, this is evolution from something that's opening on Market Maker a long time. Millionaire Market Maker, well, little do they know. But that's what a trade that's have evolved from the Millionaire Maker previously, right? So that's pretty good, you know. And yes, also, because we're here and we talked about it yesterday, RGS up 5.3%. Not bad. What about that for an entry, folks? It's there in front of your face. It didn't go a cent lower. Right on the money, Mr. Spotter. Nobody does it like Tradespotting. And here we are up the top side of resistance there. Can't argue with that thing. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with it unless I was an idiot anyway, and I'm not really an idiot. I'm pretty good at this. So you'd be looking at that, breaking that horizontal resistance. You'd say that then this was accumulation, and you'd be looking for it to test back 222 and that diagonal potentially on a wick on high time frames. This is the 4 minutes where I like to do some of my best work. Okay, so that's fantastic news. This is already a very good show. Thank you very much, everybody who was tuning in. I know that I'll have made a good impact, making a difference to help people with the things I've said so far. There hasn't been many breaks or seconds in between. Yo, Homer, great to see you. It is great to see everybody, but I also like these episodes to achieve something over and above the moments when they're live. So if I don't have anything to add at this moment, then I might say good evening. I'm going to let that chap GPI dictate my trades tomorrow. GPI? Chap GPT. Interesting. Good to let me know how that goes. Yo, Lisa, great to see you. Thanks for all your work recently. Yup, that's you, Homer. Legend. Yo, Manor. Yo, Freeze. Hello. Emily Palin. Message retracted. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Oh well. Bye, Emily. I saw a video, or hello, I saw a video of some Russian dude. Oh my goodness, not this morning. Oh, bummed you out. I could imagine it would. Not the sort of thing to do in the morning, I wouldn't say. Not going to give you that dopamine boost. Right, so focus on the positive things. For sure, try to make sure you've got a positive foundation around you. Great to see you, KT. Great to see you, Frog Lord. Great to see you, Frog Lord. I can't scream at you. Not today. Feeling pretty positive at the minute. What are you looking at for on top? Up 11%? Yes. Top up 11%. You see, dangerous, but yeah, it's hard to argue against the start of that move. And positive, yeah. I mean, all the things we've looked at, UPST, also, you know, worth keeping an eye on. Right, so what are you looking for on top up? What am I looking for? Well, I potentially could come back there and test that area where we see that flash in lower term time frames. If it did, wouldn't be all that crazy. It's just it does it from these levels. If not, then the next target would be 4.66. Could easily test then it back up at around $5. I suspect though you get this back around those prices, it might be good, but that's just here for short-term trades. Longer term, you might be looking at this thing thinking testing these prior lows and around these areas, 1.1 free extension. And if that doesn't hold, then a 1618 and then a 2618 and then, you know, a 3618. This all could collapse down to these levels. So I wouldn't be catching the knife. I'd be waiting for it to find support and measuring and watching at the time. But there is potential to enter trades that could evolve into something more in around those levels we talked about. But again, I'd wait to see how price action evolves, and I haven't got a potential trade drawn out on this thing for that reason. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Kitties. Kitties, you're brilliant. How you doing? Bait Buckets, how you doing? Eeks, how you shorted Liver King? Dave Stevens, great to see you, David. Hope you're well. Messages that start for everybody. And happy to look at more things right now. Hopefully get around to making a little cut just for yourself, David, on specific charts that we talked about. But there was a message at the start of this video. Everybody should watch it. Made it. Great to see you. Hi, Corey. Good to see you, sir. Tube's beginning catch up, but the beginning was good. Great. Very inspiring, he says, in fact. Got a snow day off with snow. What are the odds? And then here you arrive. Did you see the start of the show, Bait Buckets? It was also interesting. You might be interested. This is Snow, the ticker. Is it that 3 coincidences all in one day could come to you in such positive manner and in such a cascadingly brilliant way as this? Might this opportunity itself be screaming your name? Well, you can watch and learn all about it from the start of the show. Good for everybody to be involved in that moment of synchronicity there with Bait Buckets. And if you saw it, you shared it. Congratulations. Let's get this right. Let's fucking get this. I have to calm down. The markets aren't even open. Riley, how's it going? Time for a peek at maps? Yes, sir. This is how we do it. My apps. This is how we do it. My apps. Yeah, 50 simple on that 2-day time frame. Also reaches the top side of the Dollinger Donchies. The Dollinger Donchies, 1.50. If we take that down to the 4 hour, what do we see? A flashback down at 0.92. That would be breaking these 4 hour Bollinger Bands. That would be in line with this trend. Comes in with 200 period moving average also here. So if it tests up at 150, then risk would be on. It would drop back down to 0.92. That would be in line with this weekly trend, which is absolutely terrible. If it does manage to break back above 150 and persist there for, say, 2 days, even better, 3 days, then you could then see it move to 180, and if so, like even back above that, another, dollar back up to around 280, right? That could also happen. I wouldn't suggest that that's likely, but it could do something like it did here. What did it do here from the departure point? It did a golden pocket retracement. Well, what would the equivalent be here? There's your departure point. There's your golden pocket. That's only up at around 150. There's your maps, Riley. Pretty good, isn't it? Tradespotting, wait, does that woo a little bit wah? Well, hope you appreciate it, and you're welcome. Think about not being such a pale face, isn't it, sir? Isn't it? TLT update, you gotcha. TLT. Wubba wubba dub dub. That's keep working out. There's a topside. You go through that topside on-chain channel in the weekly time frame at resistance around the 109, where you also find golden pocket retracement at 108, which explains the stickiness of this particular resistance level. Then good night, sweetheart. These trades aren't happening. You're going on to the next target up around 116. Boom, thank you very much. If we drop down to the low time frames, that means like the 1 hour, right? Then, sputter. 200 period moving average in at 104. I'd like to stay above that. If you entered in around these levels, perhaps your stop would be just around there. 104, 104.40. You know, it's a bit of, you know, also you could use average true range. You know, stick it on that time frame, give it, you know, times 2. Maybe put it on the daily time frame, take it off that low, and then you've got it somewhere here. Still better, isn't it? Profit's profit. Sure, take it. It's another update. Whoa, another update. They're coming in fast. And here's the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin, and they're on for the races. It's the Bitcoin really making the moves now. Where we go, Bitcoin. Back up at 23,193. We're really making moves here. Really burning now. We dipped down, we tested back below 23. SPY closed, held support. Whoa, there's a surprise. Bitcoin pushing on up again. Back above those highs on that 1 hour time frame. That means that expressed the full side of that range. This is also a potential inverted head and shoulders, a little bit sloppy, but you're back here now. Did we not have drawings with this on? I think perhaps I deleted them so that it wasn't too much in everybody's faces, but here it is. Yo, there it is, the face that it was in, and there is the drawing, which it was in the face, as you can see, right? So everything's coming together here like a really nicely baked pie. And, oh, it's a cake, actually, and a pie and a cake, right? We're branching out, okay? We're going to franchise this. Buns glazing, everybody. Right, remember, F them bastards. Look at that. Look at that. F the bastards, right? You know? There's no escape. Or is there? Right, hit the like button, isn't it? What is this? Derbam, well, do another one, please. Yeah, do another one then. Right? Yay. Choo-choo. I'll pretend not to be mad about that since I closed my long earlier price. Yeah, pretend not to be mad. It's good. Nice to be here. Nice to see you, David. Good to see you. Great to see you. You're welcome, Riley. You're welcome, everybody. Madrid. Yeah, well, it just came over the screen. It's a special one. It's a special sighting one. Why does it not come up on my notification machine? Weird. Can you please have a quick look at SPX? Thanks. You betcha. The SPX. Ooh, a little bit of a nice move there at the end of the day. Yeah, if I could fulfill that gap and then some, not so bad. But a 30-minute time frame, you're in the bullish control zone. I like that. You've gone through the center line on the MACD, got positive cross. You're back above the 200 and a 50 simple on that 30-minute. That's very strong. I can see that this also coming in here. Bullish divergence, continuation divergence, clearly a higher low. That cross at the same time, very positive. A little bit of a gap in those tiny time frames. I don't care, get out of town. This thing doesn't care about little gaps. What is about all that for ages? You know what? That's just on the screen right now. Volatilities from, well, 30 minutes, who cares? And open interest in the situation, no one cares. We'll go up to 1 hour where small as it is meaningful. You caught that trend line recently. Let's extend that a little bit more of that guy, right? So this is all still true. That, if it was a horizontal, has been broken. Very positive. I suppose you would then look across and see these two immediately obvious chaps. And that also reaches up at this resistance recently. Oh my goodness, sometimes you feel like an alien, don't you, when you do things and they work out so well and you're like, well, it's working out so well and everything's so perfectly in its place. I must be from some other place. But then, no, that's just your silly brain, you silly human being, you idiot. Right, so we're looking at this thing here. Is that a cup with handle? Here, yo. Is that a cup with handle? Whoa, and these tiny time frames. You know what it's like to just jump out at you. You know, you got to check before you go to sleep. It could be one of these things hiding under your bed. And then what would happen, right? Then what would you do? Well, I can tell you what you'd do. You wouldn't be able to sleep. You'd probably be all up all night and it would be a nightmare. So you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. Right, so 50% retracement, that would be in around this guy. Do you think we got a retracement? I've not looked yet, right? I've not checked. You tell me, is there one? Oh my God, get out of town. And it could be another in around 3940. If it held that, it'd be the 200 period moving average. That'd be interesting. It would be where you might anticipate if this diagonal broke. That's a diagonal, a 1 hour time frame. Do I care about that? No, it's already conforming enough to this thing. So let's see if it did break to the top side. What fun things can we do with this guy? right? That's a really fun toy, and it suggests 4,470. That's ridiculous. Hey, what you like? Don't give this to kids. Nobody less than 3 months old should ever be allowed to trade. It's really dangerous. So, make sure, right? No unless, and you should bring that up. If you're allowed 3-month-olds are trading around your part of town, you should bring that up with the local representative. That's not right. It's just not right. So you're looking at the 50 simple taking price action back through the top side of this resistance. You're not interested in coming back for support anymore. 4 hour, what are you saying? You just agrees with me. Look, 50 simple above the 200. It didn't even want to go back below this for a second. And our resistance now very meaningful, right? You get back above that level. It's all about the extensions. First one, 4144. Sounds better than 3, which is what, or 2, which is what it actually is. And then 4240. Amazing. I love that one. Right, 4240, that'd be the next target. And then 4312. Beyond that, right, yeah, if you want a reason to be beyond there and an area to look to, that would be here, right? Because you look left, that's the next departure point where price action most recently tested the 200 period moving average and got rejected. What do you think is going to happen when I go up to the weekly time frame? Oh, my goodness gracious me. That's also where we found a weekly resistance up at that level. So, Tradespotting just like blowing it out of the park, right? There's your 1618 extension. It's the weekly resistance. It's the 50 simple test. It's the 200 test on the 4. I'm saying we came from 30 minutes to, this is just beautiful. This is so beautiful. Just like yourself, Madrigal. Thanks so much for the tip. Speaking my love language there. What about that for some love language? It's nice, isn't it? Sorry, I keep going off the screen. Typically, I should be doing it this way because I do like to get right in there, in amongst the price action. But, sometimes I fall this way. It's just the way it is when you get older. I have 3 cats. Is this the way to make them millions? 3 cats. That they can be, don't let your cats be a burden like that. Get them to work, right? They're not 3-month-olds. They can learn this. Tradespotting, you missed one. What did I miss? Minier. What do you mean when you say risk on into FOMC meeting? Hello, sir. Mrs. Mr. Miss. Many. I mean that nobody knows what's going to happen with the news, right? Because it's in the future, so we don't know what's going to be yet, and anything could happen. So you're exposed to unquantified, unknown risks. So that's risk is on, right? And so typically in risk on environments like that, when I'm speaking about environment, that's rather than price action. I'm just talking about the nature of this macro environment rather than the behavior of price action. When I say it's a risk-on environment, and in those circumstances, when you don't know what could or might happen, then it's best to be positioned to take advantage of moves on one hand, and then also not to be exposed to things you can't control, which could include, with pre-market news, gaps, horrible auction systems on pre-market trading, massive moves against positions way beyond stop losses, and it's always a chance that news could be very surprising, especially if your expectations are a firm part of your trade. So it's best not to have them expectations or for some people, the trades themselves, and a lot of money feels that way. So tomorrow is the FOMC meeting. It's the Federal Reserve. It's when they're talking about the potential rate rises. That's to manage the inflation within the economy. People are saying that it could potentially be just a rate rise of 0.25% when previous one a little bit less than the running 7.75% every time. 7.5 boom, 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 every time, every month with relentless rises. And so this gradual slowing down is an anticipation of a gradual lifting to the difficulties in the economy, all things unceasing, soft landing, no secondary inflation, everything goes up again, right? So, dreamland, right? So we're going to see how that works out for a while. Why not, right? Peter Pan got away with it. Rubio got away with it. Why can't we just get away with it? Captain Hook out here. Gary Gensler out here says we can. Jerome and they're all running the show now. So, what are we going to do? It's not up to us. So, because it's not up to us, what we do is we don't take any position when we'd be exposed to that extra risk if we haven't already. And depending on how the news goes, right, you could look for extremely good news, like anything beyond 10%. What am I saying? 10%. Imagine that. And that wouldn't be good news. So anything that would like exceed expectations to a significant degree would likely have an extreme move on the chart. So we would look to those outside levels of support and resistance for the targets. And yeah, so that would, if you're already in a position, expose you to like the greatest potential risk. It would obviously be front of mind. And, you know, people don't like that because it doesn't help a trader to be exposed to risk, especially if they can't quantify it. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean about the FOMC meeting when I say that going into it, they'd be going into it. And we're not actually, of course, going into it because we don't want to. It's not because we're not invited. You know, the door has actually been opened there wide for us, and we could just walk on through if we wanted. But we do shit when it suits us, right? Not when it suits the people. You know, stand there, open the door, go for it. You know what I mean? I thought I wrote an invitation, in fact. I know I need a hedge. I know I need a hedge. A big hedge to keep the neighbours and me in a positive dynamic. Big, lovely hedge. Which gets really messy on their side if they don't take care of it. And it gets nice and clean on my side because I'm a rich trader and I can pay somebody a handsome purse for cutting my hedge in a big shape. I bet that I bet that the company is dying to know what's up with all of the Hank necklaces. Hank. I did my taxes today. Well done, Sarah Herrera. Congratulations. What's that necklace? It's a necklace with the name Hank on it. You know, Hank's girlfriends all wear them. That's why they're out of them in the shops. You've met Hank, right? This is not a no euphemisms. And who files the gaps on SPY? Oh, files them. Yeah, that's just an administrative job. It's done by the people in compliance. They do everything. We just hit buttons. We don't know what it does. And then the compliance department, they file stuff, sign stuff on our behalf, and then fill gaps. Who fills the gaps on SPY around 360? We do. We do, sir. Can you take a quick look at ITB? Well, I mean, this show is losing utility for the casual browser. Is this what you're talking about? We're up here on iShares. Did I get those two donations? Madrigal, I did. Thanks so much for that 14.98. Minner, thank you. Millionaire, French. Thank you so much for that $5. That's really appreciated. Thank you. Both of you together covered the cost for the show today. And it's really positive when that happens. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Literally keeping the lights on. Even though this one's a little bit annoying. Can give you a headache. You know what I mean? Especially when you start a shows half 10 at night trades, but you idiot. But I have responsibilities, you know. Responsibilities that sometimes get in the way. I'm sorry. How's my main squeeze? Not above Jamil. Yeah, the main squeeze. You know. Hank loves it. Everybody loves Hank. So people can feel a little bit aggravated. People often like, oh, Hank, what are you doing coming over here taking our woman, Hank? But once you get to know him, you know, you'll kind of not, you won't begrudge him. I appreciate you, Jim. Appreciate you, Menasa. Appreciate you. We have a secret Hank shake. Hey. He's got all those kind of jokes, right? Full of charisma. The dad jokes, the dad bod. He's got all those things. All of them. Hank. Hey. So, thank you very much, everybody. Hit that like button. Tell your friends. You know. Try to keep me down. Make something of this. Do something out here. What's Bitcoin doing now? Is it going to keep going? Because that would be interesting. It just didn't want to. Just wants me to type. Keyboard just likes me touching it. 23118. Back at your face. It's in your face. Get that in your face. Is there a trading show like this? I don't think there is. I don't think there is. Here, look, 23.7. What do you think the odds are? So, you know, you tell odds, eh? Odds, sir. I have none of that. This is not gambling. Though, you know, that can be done well. This is trading. Right? It starts off every day. The minute you open your eyes, your eyes, my eyes. They're my eyeballs. As soon as you wake up, don't just roll over and go, Get up and look at that picture, and if you don't have one, get one. And if you haven't written your goal for the day in the morning that you're going to do before you eat your breakfast on it, get a pen, write it on it, keep that, get a calendar, get a journal, get going, right? We'll come back, because we're going to do this every day, right? Every day, day after day, getting better and better. You only need 9 in a row. Start with 1,000, you get 9 in a row, you'll have 1,000,000. You start with 100, you get 9 in a row, you'll have 50 grand. If that doesn't change your life, along with a continued promise for Tradespotting to support and help you achieve anything that you want, well, I don't know. Maybe you're looking for something else. Okay. Well, good luck with that then. Thanks for everyone who's still with me. See you tomorrow.